Let's explore autistic history and the Autism Wars. This is part 75 of a series. We are getting deeper in the history of applied behavior analysis. In the last couple of videos, I've been sharing some of the basic information that's listed on Wikipedia. And when I'm done kind of going over this, and there will be some autistic history mentioned in some of these entries. So note that it won't just be autism community. There's also autistic community information included. So not a lot, but it's there. So I'm going to jump forward from where we left off through some of the granular specifics. It's there if you'd like to go into it, but I'm going to stay focused on the Autism Wars section of this and its use as a therapy for autism, because today it might even cure, it's being touted as a cure for pretty much everything. I think next it's gonna make my coffee in the morning too, but let's get back to the entries. Alright, under the subhead use as therapy for autism, states a large majority of ABA practitioners specialize in autism. Although BCBA certification does not require any autism training, ABA-based techniques are often used to teach adaptive behaviors. BCBA certification also doesn't include child development of any of our children. And if you live in California, it now includes, you only need a high school diploma to do ABA types of therapy with autistic children. So you're going to have autism experts who have no training in working with autistic people, and they have no training in typical child development, and the regulation in this industry is abysmally bad. You start reading some of the articles about this industry, like on Fortune magazine from the last year or two, and you're going to start seeing the ugly side of private equity. And whether or not you agree or believe ABA should be in practice, what is in practice is horribly, horribly regulated, and it is exploding by the billions in the autism market, and private equity is pushing this at such a rate that, it's not good. All right, back to the entry. So although BCBA certification does not require any autism training, ABA-based techniques are often used to teach adaptive behaviors or to diminish behaviors associated with autism, so much that ABA itself is so often mistakenly considered to be synonymous with therapy for autism. It's the only therapy that's covered by insurances for autism. There's been national and state-by-state legislation to make sure that happened, but we'll get to that part going forward. So according to a paper from 2007, it was considered to be an effective intervention for challenging behaviors by the American Academy of Pediatrics. A 2018 Cochrane review of 5 studies that compared treatment versus control showed ABA may be effective for some autistic children, but noted that the evidence for this is weak. The effectiveness of ABA therapies for autism may be overall limited by diagnostic severity, age and intervention, or age of intervention, and IQ. So I'm going to share this about the 2007 clinical report about the 2007 clinical report of the American Academy of Pediatrics concluded that the benefit of ABA interventions in autism spectrum disorders, ASDS, has been well documented, and that children who receive early intensive behavioral treatment have been shown to make substantial sustained gains in IQ, language, academic performance, and adaptive behavior, as well as some measures of social behavior. In 2008, researchers from the Mind Institute published an evidence-based review of comprehensive treatment practices. Now, let's pause here for a moment. Just to note, the UC Mind Institute was founded by parents of autistics, including Chuck Gardner and Sarah Gardner, in 1998. Just heads up, this is a parent-founded and parent-run organization and is part of the bigger network of these autism organizations that work together. But we'll talk more about that when I speak about the autism cabal and referring to a 2003 meeting of the Minds at a Human Genome celebration dinner. But we'll get going forward to that too. Right now, we gotta deal with some of this history first. But if you want a jump ahead on UC Mind Institute, there is an archive created and available on internationalbadassactivist.org. Just search Mind Institute and the headline will have archive in it, and you will see all the stories or all the publications that include UC Mind Institute available there that I have. So, back to the entry. Here we go. On the basis of the strength of the findings from our 4 best designed controlled studies, they were of the opinion that one ABA-based approach, the Lovaas technique created by Ivar Lovaas, is well established for improving intellectual performance of young children with ASD. All right, now I'm going to jump forward to the 2010 through 2019 reviews. In 2011, investigators from Vanderbilt University, under contract with the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, performed a comprehensive review of the scientific literature on ABA-based and other therapies for autism spectrum disorders. The ABA-based therapies included the UCLA Lovaas method and the Early Start Denver model, the latter developed by Sally Rogers and Geraldine Dawson. These are 2 names that are prominent in autistic history in the autism community side research and Autism Speaks. So we'll get forward to that in the future, but yeah, these are more problematic names. Anyhow, they concluded that both approaches were associated with improvements in cognitive performance, language skills, and adaptive behavior skills. However, they also concluded that the strength of evidence is low. Many children continue to display prominent areas of impairment. Subgroups may account for a majority of the change. There is little evidence of practical effectiveness or feasibility beyond research studies, and the published studies used small samples, different treatment approaches and duration, and different outcome measurements. Oh, they what? Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up here, and we're going to jump into reviews since 2020 in the next video. There is just so much happening here, but yeah, we'll get to that more in a bit. So thank you for hanging out and learning a bit more autistic history with me.